Hey, welcome to the channel. This week we're going to look through our Shredder collection, and at the end we're going to open up 2 new packages that have arrived to bolster this already pretty decent set. So first up on the left we've got the NECA cartoon Shredder, which is a really great figure. Superb detail on this. It's got his cape, very true to the original 80s cartoon. Do like these. And then just beside him, we've got the original 1990 movie Shredder. Again, fantastic attention to detail on this figure. They've got the actor's likeness down to a T, all the accessories, detailing. Yeah, really, really cool. I do like the fact that it comes again with the sort of the cape. It's that iconic scene in the movie where he removes it to show more of his shoulder armor and that, isn't there? So that's quite cool. In the middle, we've got the 2003 Shredder. This is actually the Armorized version, where you can actually remove some of his armor and weapons, and his helmet does come off, like so. Next in line, we've got the 2012 Shredder. This is the original release, so not the best version of Shredder they did for this line. That honour actually probably goes to this sort of second iteration of Shredder. This is actually the limited edition version with the chrome detailing and that, but this does look really cool. And again, cape on the back, which I think does make a big difference. Really great figure this, and one of my favourite Playmates versions of Shredder. Right, so we have 4 other loose Shredder figures. These are variants of some of the ones I've just shown you. On the left, we have the first version of Shredder from 2003. This one's quite beat up because I got it in a bundle. He's actually missing one of his claws. But I have actually ordered a new one of these on the card, which should be here any time really. Still quite a good figure. Unlike the Armorized one that I showed earlier, this one, the helmet is fixed, so you can't show his face. So next in line, we've got the Mutations Shredder. This is one of the ones where you can transform it from him in his robes into him with all his Shredder weaponry and that. I'll do that now. And there we go. He's mutated into Shredder. This actually looks a lot better when it's not transformed, I think, because if you put them alongside the actual Shredder, the dimensions of everything is all a little bit off. But, you know, it's a bit of fun, isn't it? This third one looks, at a first glance, to be the same as the original Shredder, but this is one of the Mutations ones, so obviously you can pull off all his limbs. And I think his head. Yeah, and of course you can mix and match these to do whatever you want. There you go. And finally, this is very similar to the limited edition Shredder that I just showed you, but this is as it came originally. So rather than the chrome finishings, you've just got the grey plastic. They can both have the helmets come off, but again, this one's just grey plastic. You do get some quite nice detailing on both of these in terms of the face sculpts, which is quite cool. Okay, so let's look at these carded figures. We've got 2 of the original Shredder figure. These are both re-releases, not the original 80s versions, but made from the same molds. This is the earlier one, which I think was 2013, and this was released in the last 3 or 4 years. This is the figure that I obviously grew up with originally, and yeah, really nice to have this in the collection. I also picked up the reissue of Movie Star Super Shredder, which I think is quite a cool figure. Never had this one originally, but it's got a very different style to the first sort of cartoon-based figure. Comes with great little accessories as well, and there's a connection between this old school figure and the new figures that we're adding into the collection today, which you'll see in a little while. So after those, we've got a couple from the 2003 line. This is the Armorized Shredder, but this is a nice touch with the removable helmet and weapons and armour, as you saw earlier on with the loose figure. And this is a bit of a curiosity really. This is the Air Ninja Shredder. Now I picked this up fairly cheaply in a bundle. I think it was about 10 quid, something like that. But this is some of the later 2003 line where you've got all kinds of gadgets going on with it. Quite unique. I don't intend to open this one. Playmates did come out with some pretty unusual versions of the Turtles during this line. So then we had the 2012 Shredders. This is the box that goes with the Limited Edition Chrome Shredder. So he comes in this one. Quite a nice little touch. You could always get the same figure as well on the card, but you can see here how different these are in terms of the finish with all the chrome and whatnot, and even some of the paint is slightly better on this limited edition version. Nevertheless, they're very cool figures. Another variation of this figure with the purple sort of trousers. This one came in with the 2-pack with Raphael. I think these are referred to as the Versus figures. Before we get to the Super Shredder, we've also got the original Shredder on the card. This is the re-release from last year, and this is an original figure from 2012, 2013, whenever it was. And of course we mustn't forget the Super Shredder from Tales of the TMNT. Another really great figure, a lot more detailed than the Super Shredder from the earlier line. Starting to get tricky to pick up this one as well. I've noticed it going for quite a lot loose and carded, so nice one to have in the collection. And then finally for now, we've got the Shredder from the Michael Bay 2014 film. Doesn't look too bad in the packaging, but out of the packaging it's a bit of a mess, this really. Lots of bits and bobs all over it. Too much detail. Kind of sums up the Michael Bay figures and movie in general really. But it doesn't look too bad in the packaging. It does look quite presentable. Certainly a lot better than the later Out of the Shadows Shredder, which may be the worst Shredder figure I have in the collection. To me it just looks like a bloke in a black suit. Okay, he's got the claws here that you can add on, but probably the worst looking Shredder. I mean, what is going on with his face as well? I don't think you can see that very clearly here, but the detailing on his face is just, it's just rubbish. So I have got it in the collection, but probably my least favourite of the Shredders. Right, let me just clear these up a bit, and then we can open up the two new additions to our Shredder collection. Last one. Okay. So, the first one we're bringing out is this Ultimate Shredder from The Secret of the Ooze. I haven't been hard on whether to get this or not, because I do already have the Shredder figure from the original TMNT film, but I really like some of the changes that were made for this version of the character, including his helmet and obviously the colour of his outfit and so on. So there are a few significant changes. It does also come with some quite cool accessories. Let's have a little look. So here he is. So obviously in this one you've got the more sort of purple outfit rather than the sort of reddy maroon, and it comes with some quite cool, you've got this mutated flower, the same as what they show in the film, and you've got a little canister of ooze as well. The detail on these NECA figures is always unbelievable. Really close to the actual film itself. He's got a couple of swords in here, obviously some alternative hands and things as well. Yeah, very cool. You can also remove the front section of his helmet, which is really cool, so you can actually see his face in more detail if you prefer. Yeah, very nice that. Okay, that's one. Stick him over there. Whew, that was a bit of a job. Right. And there's more. Okay. Get rid of that. And the second figure is this Super Shredder, the Shadow Master version. Now, I agonised over which one of these to get, because you can actually get 3 different types of this Super Shredder figure. There's the regular purple version. There's this Shadow Master version. There's also a third version that's got even more purple detailing, that's kind of an homage to the European figure or toy or something. I'm not quite sure. But I looked at all 3, and this Shadow Master one just looked to me like it was the coolest tone of the bunch. Let's have a look. Yeah, that is pretty awesome. It does apparently stand quite a bit taller than the other figures. I'm well pleased to get this one. So cost-wise, the Super Shredder Shadow Master figure came in at this price. And the Secret of the Ooze Ultimate Shredder came in at this much. Both pretty decent prices, and I think both of these figures are well worth that. Yeah, really decent figures, these ones. So there we have it, our 2 new additions. There are still a few more shredders that I'm looking to get. As I said earlier on, I've got the original 2003 figure coming on the card. That should be here hopefully in the next few days. But I really would like to pick up the Super 7 Ultimates Shredder, the one that sort of matches up with that original Playmates 88 figure. I'd also like to get a few more loose Shredder figures, because doing this video has made me realise that although I've got quite a few versions of the Shredder, the vast majority of my collection is actually carded figures. I've only really got these few loose ones. I am going to be taking out the Shadow Master Super Shredder figure and putting that on the shelf. I'm not sure about this version of Shredder as yet. So I've already got the original first movie Shredder out on display, so just comes down to space really, but we'll look into that in the future. Right, as always, thank you ever so much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed going through this Shredder collection. I tend to upload about once a week, so if you've enjoyed this, then you can always subscribe to the channel and look out for other TMNT collection videos. I do sort of unboxings, new arrivals, and of course sort of overviews of different parts of the collection. You'll find stuff from 2012 on the channel. I've recently done all 4 turtles, different bits and pieces like that. So have a little look, and hopefully see you again in a week or so's time. Look after yourselves and take it easy. So as I was finishing up the edit for this video, there was a knock at the door, and lo and behold, it's the 2003 carded Shredder figure. So we can tick that one off a list as well.